Got to Minneapolis this morning. The weather was supposed to be shit, but it's actually quite beautiful here. Just a moment ago I picked up my bike and I'm about to do some riding. It's a much different bike than I'm used to though. My first Harley Davidson rental ever. I've ridden a Harley once before, but not for very long. This is a 2018 Heritage Softail Classic. This would also be the newest motorcycle I've ever ridden. Don't think I've been on a 2018 yet. Not bad. It's got a few things that are unfamiliar to me. A couple things that are interesting. The right blinker is over here. The left is here. That's definitely going to take a little bit of getting used to. Foot position is totally weird for me, but I suspect it'll become familiar pretty quickly. Otherwise, it's pretty much just another motorcycle. Pretty quiet. This bike is tripping me out a little bit. There are multiple points of unfamiliarity for me. I've been on a Harley before. I rode one for a couple hours on my Arma trip a couple years back, but I don't think it was much like this one. These blinkers on each of my thumbs is definitely still getting some used to. One cool thing about this bike though is it has auto-canceling blinkers. If I get any kind of lean, it'll turn the signal off. I just have to do it manually if I'm just changing lanes or something. Right here, right into the Speedo, I got a menu. I can flip through a bunch of stuff on there. Kind of cool. I'm not totally stoked on having to look down here for all my stuff. Hey, what's up, biker? Normally I'm used to looking right about here on all my sport bikes, but it is what it is. And I don't know, I guess mostly it's fine. The foot positioning is still a little awkward. I don't know if you can see down there, but I'm not used to having my feet way out in front. But it's comfortable. My butt's definitely comfortable. Can't complain about that. I will say the lady that took care of the rental for me, she was pretty proud of this 2018 model. Harley Davidson, I guess, did a whole overhaul on the whole thing. Electronics, the manufacturing, the whole design of the bike. Anyhow, she said it has drastically reduced vibration. I gotta say, if that's the case, hey, what's up, biker? If that's the case, it must have really sucked before, because the bike still vibrates a lot. And maybe I've just been spoiled by riding around on a Honda and a BMW. Well, at least the Honda, I don't think it's anything that special, but man, if I give this thing any kind of power, I definitely feel my butt rattling. Anyhow, not bad though. I don't think I'd want to spend a week on this thing, but I certainly don't mind taking it out for the weekend. It seems like I am definitely the odd man out here as far as motorcycle riders are concerned. Look at that town hall. That's amazing. Corn! Okay. Very distracting place. I'm the odd man out here in that I have full gear on. I got gloves, I got boots, I got my jacket on. Apparently that's not really a thing out here. Most of these guys are out in shorts or jeans and a tank top with no helmet. Throw on some sunglasses. Bird! Throw on some corn! Wow. Throw on some sunglasses and call it good. But yeah, the majority of riders that I see here with helmets on are passengers. So these guys throw their lady on the back, and all of a sudden they acknowledge that see that? Dude had a lady on the back, she had a helmet on. They acknowledge that a helmet maybe is a good safety precaution, but I guess only for their lady, perhaps? I don't know. Right. I am at Taylor Falls recreation area. It came highly recommended. We shall see. Nature. Not bad. Squirrel.
So if we pulled a...
I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat you. Where are you going? I'm gonna eat you. Come back here. Guess I'm not getting dinner tonight. So, apparently I am in Wisconsin now. After I stopped by the Taylor's Falls recreation area and glacial potholes, I crossed the river and was welcomed into Wisconsin by a sign on the side of the road. Rose? How about the road? Apparently I am now in St. Croix Falls. Still haven't seen any falls, but isn't this a cute little town? I am starting to see why Harley Davidson girl recommended this road. I mean, there's nothing here. There's just a road and trees, and that's it. I mean, there aren't even any other cars. I did see a couple bicyclists, but that's all I've seen. Look at this. I'm steering with no hands. I didn't even know I could do this. Apparently, when you're low to the ground, like on a Harley Davidson, you can steer with your hips. I have just learned that right now. Fun fact. Because look at, I'm sort of staying in my spot in the road. Uh-oh. Turning up ahead. Let's see. Can I make this turn with my hips? My hips don't lie. Can I do it, hips? They said yes. They don't lie. Look at that. I did it. Ha! No hands. Wow. I am thoroughly impressed with myself right now. We'll add this to my list of first. Writing with no hands. For more than about 4 seconds, which is probably my max before. I could just kick back, take a nap. Not bad for a Saturday afternoon. And did I mention the weather is absolutely beautiful? I've been checking the forecast for the last couple weeks, and it was predicted we would have thunderstorms and 1,000,000% humidity, and it is amazing. I mean, it's probably about well, I don't know, maybe mid-70s temperature, maybe 80s in the sun, 80-ish in the sun, but I really don't feel the humidity, maybe because it's been more humid in California lately, but I don't feel it. And the sky is clear with some wispy white clouds, the trees are green, the airflow feels wonderful, my arms are waving around in an exaggerated fashion because I can, because for some reason I don't need them to ride this motorcycle, which is still very strange and interesting. Anyway, wonderful day. Look at this. Super cool. I guess Harley Davidson chick didn't steer me wrong. Wolf Creek Bar. Oh God, I love it. Look at the dude out front with his cut and his tattoos and his patches. Hey, look at that. Boba Fett. Huh. Apparently when he got eaten by that sand monster on Tatooine and was going to be digested slowly and painfully for a gajillion years, what they meant was he is going to Wisconsin. I don't know. Doesn't seem so bad here to me. Murta. So, apparently I am in Wyoming now, which is cool. Had no idea I'd be hitting Wyoming on this trip, though it looks suspiciously like Minnesota. This isn't the Wyoming I remember. Where's all the buffalo? Traffic and rain. I must be back in the city. Hey, look at that. And I am soaked. Good thing my boots are waterproof.
Well, it took all night, but my gear is finally dry. Thanks to
turning up the heat, and this weird modern art installation that I could hang my gear all over. What a beautiful morning! A little crisp in the air. Well, it's about 11 a.m. or so. It's been a fine Midwest morning here. Got up around 7 or so. Had brekkie with a colleague over at the First Crack Cafe in Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Been on the road for a while now, heading out to Webster, Wisconsin. And gonna meet up with another colleague at her family's lake house. Should be pretty cool. Corn! Anyway. So, how did I end up out here riding a motorcycle in the Midwest anyway? About a year ago, I was here for work, and I was talking to a colleague who lives out here, and he has a 1200 GS Beamer, and he told me about how good the riding is out here, and invited me to come out, said he'd take me riding for a weekend. And so when I found out I was coming back out here this summer, I hit him up and said, hey, I'm coming, let's go riding. And he said, yeah, baby, let's talk about it when it gets closer. And yeah, it turns out he couldn't make it, but I decided to go for it anyway. He mentioned all the beautiful scenic countryside and the lakes and nature and all that good stuff, and so I decided I'd just make it happen. And I ended up with a Harley, since apparently the only motorcycle rental place out here is the Harley dealership. At least that was the only obvious one that I could come across, but either way, he was right. It is so beautiful that I'm glad that I decided to come out here, even though I'm all by myself. Usually I don't do these trips by myself, but in this particular case, no regrets. It is a very peaceful ride out here in nature. Well, I am now out in the backwoods of Webster. Okay. Well, I should be looking at the road in case another baby deer decides to jump in front of my motorcycle. Getting closer. It is beautiful out here. A little private paradise. Found it! Hello! Just had a lovely afternoon at Angie's family lake house. I am now following her out of here because I got lost coming in. She promised me the scenic route back to towards Minneapolis. It was a nice time. Hung out on the lake, went out on their pontoon boat, went for a swim, had some pizza, and now we're on our way out of here. Amish cows. Hi. Fresh Gulf shrimp in Wisconsin. Well, I I have just gassed up the Harley, and now I am going to return it. And while I must admit, I would never want to own this motorcycle, it has been a lot of fun riding something new around.